Imagine yourself in a paradise with beaches, stunning women, waterfalls, forests, mountains, and even volcanoes. Not only does this place boast breathtaking natural beauty, but it's also famous for being home to some of the world's most popular tourist destinations. All of this, and without an army, despite once being one of the most insignificant and underdeveloped parts of the Spanish colonial empire before independence. Even though it's a small country, Costa Rica is like a hidden treasure, filled with amazing activities and places that will leave you in awe. To the north, Costa Rica extends to the Caribbean Sea, while to the south, it's washed by the Pacific Ocean. The Juan Santa Maria International Airport, located in the capital San Jose, is typically where visitors arrive. You can also reach it by bus from Honduras, El Salvador, and Mexico, neighboring countries. With a tropical climate, Costa Rica enjoys pleasant temperatures year-round, around 25 degrees Celsius. If you prefer drier periods, it's best to visit between December and April. The official language is Spanish, inherited from the Spanish colonization in 1502 when Christopher Columbus explored the region. Interestingly, the name Costa Rica was given because they hoped to find gold, but they didn't. Another theory suggests that the name Costa Rica may have come from the language of the Hutar, natives who lived in this region of Central America, and it was how these indigenous people called the settlement where they lived. Back then, the natives of Costa Rica, coming from places like Guatemala, lived off agriculture and hunting to survive. Later, they discovered that the mountain slopes were perfect for cultivating coffee. Independence finally arrived in 1821 when Costa Rica broke free from Spanish rule, ending about 3 centuries of foreign governance. Currently, Costa Rica has stood out as one of the happiest countries in the world on the Life Satisfaction Index. With a population of around 5 million inhabitants, the majority have mixed or mulatto ancestry. Customs are preserved by 8 main tribes: Coratega, Roran, Bribri, Cabikar, Brunca, Ngabe, Maliku, and Hutar, who maintain their identities, languages, and cultures. Despite the challenges faced by other countries in Central and South America, Costa Rica maintains the 23rd position in the ranking of the happiest countries globally in 2023. On the Corruption Index, it holds the 48th position, which means there is relatively little corruption in the country. Choosing Costa Rica as a destination means enjoying a tropical climate with warmth and humidity throughout the year, along with constant sunshine and stunning blue beaches. When it comes to the natural growth of fruits and vegetables, even in challenging global times, this country stands out as a refuge against scarcity and hunger. Plantations thrive, ensuring generous harvests on any plot of land. This is thanks to the country's diverse geography, resulting in a variety of microclimates depending on location and altitude. Survival for a good while is possible solely due to the abundance of tropical fruit varieties. Agriculture plays a significant role in the country's economy. Furthermore, Costa Rica has become an attractive destination for foreign investors. The country has a strong focus on sustainability and renewable energy, along with a well-educated population and a growing middle class. The Costa Rican government has taken steps to make the country more appealing to foreign investors, including creating tax incentives and simplifying the investment process. Education for children is not a concern, as it is offered free of charge and is mandatory. And you know what else? Access to medication is not a headache with concerns about health insurance. And like anywhere else, there are some less positive aspects. Don't expect free social housing programs. And while taking a stroll around the capital, you might encounter some unpleasant odors and scattered litter here and there. Unfortunately, some areas without adequate bathrooms may lead people to resort to the streets in emergency situations, contributing to these unpleasant smells. The crime index by country of 2024 positions Costa Rica in 43rd place. However, this does not reflect an ideal level of safety. The inhabitants are genuinely concerned about the increasing insecurity and delinquency, which has caused significant disruptions due to street violence. The security situation in the country is far from calm. These circumstances may surprise or shock during a first visit, but overall, Costa Rica is a very livable place, surpassing many countries in Latin America. What's interesting is that Costa Rica boasts the highest minimum wage set at around $625 monthly and high purchasing power in Latin America, even comparing to some European countries. Surprising, isn't it? Costa Rica is also a paradise for those who work online and earn money on the internet. With a residency visa, you are exempt from taxes related to work when opening a local bank account. Unlike many countries, there is no local taxation on deposited income here. However, for the temporary residency category, the minimum monthly income requirement is $2,500. Interestingly, although gambling is technically illegal for Costa Rican citizens, the country is known to be the home of numerous online casinos. However, it's important to note that while the casinos operate in the country, this doesn't necessarily mean that the Costa Rican government looks favorably upon gambling when it comes to its own people. Prostitution is legal in Costa Rica. However, many of the activities surrounding it are illegal, such as pimping and operating brothels. Additionally, Costa Rica has a voluntary registration scheme for prostitutes, providing health examinations and support. These factors, of course, are not the sole contributors to the population's happiness, but the favorable conditions for these activities attract millions of affluent tourists, primarily from the United States, to destinations like Costa Rica and Colombia. It's an interesting scenario, don't you think? Perhaps most surprising is that, even without an army since 1948, Costa Rica is one of the few countries in the world without armed forces. Article 12 of the Costa Rican Constitution abolished the army as a permanent institution, making the country one of the first in the world to do so when the current constitution was promulgated in 1949. However, the country has the United States as a partner in the Community Security Program, focused on increasing collaboration between police, municipal authorities, and citizen groups. Both countries enjoy a long-standing historic friendship. Still, Costa Rica is vulnerable to external shocks, including global inflationary pressures, weaker global growth, and tighter financing conditions. But when you observe the people there, whether in the city or in the countryside, it's easy to notice a relaxed and happy life reflected on the faces of many. Smiles all around. And life expectancy in Costa Rica is around 81 years, which is quite high compared to the global average. However, there's quite a presence of older folks, as they say you can live comfortably there until you're 90. In culinary terms, Costa Rica is known for its simplicity and the use of fresh, local ingredients such as squash, corn, and beans. Traditional dishes like gallo pinto, which is nothing more than the famous rice and beans, and a casado, a traditional dish with rice, beans, vegetables, and meat, are highly appreciated by both locals and visitors. Pura vida, which literally translates as a pure life, is more than just a phrase in Costa Rica, it's a way of life. It reflects the positive and relaxed attitude of Costa Ricans towards life. The idea is to appreciate simplicity, happiness, and to be present in the moment. This tranquility extends even to the traffic, with few honks, people driving calmly, demonstrating courtesy and patience. Costa Ricans are known to be some of the friendliest people in the world, standing out for their helpful disposition and friendly authenticity. This is quite different from many more developed places, where the focus tends to be more self-centered. Families in Costa Rica are very close-knit, and many of them are multi-generational. They highly value family time and community life. Costa Ricans are known for waking up early and having an active lifestyle. Many locals wake up before dawn to enjoy the fresh morning air and start the day's activities. But that doesn't mean there's no nightlife. If you're up for fun during the day and night, Costa Rica is the place to be. At night, there's a diverse nightlife scene, with laid-back neighborhood bars, comedy shows at local theaters, dance clubs, and much more. People gather to party and socialize. If you go from the cities to the countryside, get ready to see a lot of people on bikes. Although the use of bicycles as a mode of transportation in Costa Rica has significantly decreased due to improved access to public and private transportation, as well as the increase in cars and motorcycles on the roads. However, Costa Rica has a progressive national policy that promotes bicycle use and traffic safety education. Even though their soccer isn't very famous on the world stage, Costa Ricans have a huge love for soccer, both playing and watching. Soccer is the most popular sport in Costa Rica and is almost like a religion. Some say soccer has become so popular in the country's culture because one ball can be shared by many, and the game can be played almost anywhere. Now, imagine this scene. In every small town and nearly every village in Costa Rica, it's almost certain to find three things: the church, the school, and, of course, the soccer field. Like it's standard. Now, check this out, the addressing system there is kind of different. They don't use street names or numbers on house doors. So, how do people find each other in this place? Well, they use landmarks, like in front of the school or behind the church. It's sort of like everyone has their own natural GPS. And if you take a bird's-eye view of Costa Rica, you'll notice that tall concrete buildings aren't very common there. Constructions typically have 1 or 2 floors. It's a compact country, so this way of addressing with landmarks always works. And speaking of size, despite its 51,000 square kilometers and vast rural area, Costa Rica is full of opportunities. Costa Rica exhibits remarkable religious diversity, despite Catholicism holding the title of the country's official religion. Around 47.5% of the population declares themselves Catholic, highlighting the strong historical and cultural influence of this faith on Costa Rican society. However, religious freedom is widely respected, allowing for the coexistence of diverse beliefs and practices. This openness contributes significantly to the rich cultural and social diversity that characterizes the nation. Moreover, Costa Rica is more than just a tourist destination. It's an invitation to experience the natural beauty, social harmony, and